Waluigi, the Robbie Rotten of video games.
Creamy!
Since his debut in Mario Tennis for the Nintendo 64, Waluigi has appeared in over 60 games and has grown quite popular over the years. He has a room named after him in the Nintendo of America headquarters, been the star of many Gmod and SFM videos, featured in an astronomical amount of internet memes, and has been heavily requested to join the roster in Super Smash Bros. He is probably one of the most popular Mario characters of all time, and I can argue that's for a good reason. However, ever since June of 2018, Waluigi and his fanbase have been the subject of controversy and have been misrepresented by many people to this very day. YouTubers, Twitter users, even journalists. They have made claims against the fanbase and the character himself that are objectively wrong and ignorant. These very claims completely misrepresent Waluigi as a character and spread misinformation about his fandom. The purpose of this video is to clear up all of that to make sure everybody sees the truth.
So let's just jump into it.
Waluigi time!
So, let's start with Waluigi. Many have brought up points against him that definitely misrepresent him as a character. Firstly, many are quick to label Waluigi as a filler character. Why do people label him as such, you may ask? Well, this is mainly because originally Waluigi was only created because Wario didn't have a tennis partner for a team similar to Mario and Luigi, Peach and Daisy, Yoshi and Birdo, you get the picture. While this is indeed true about Waluigi, people fail to understand this one thing. That's not his only purpose. When looking at Waluigi's origins and why he was created, the reasoning behind his creation is the exact same as Mario's. The original Donkey Kong arcade game was supposed to have Popeye characters, but since Nintendo didn't have the license, they created an unnamed protagonist to fill the space of Popeye. That character would become Mario. Let's use another example. After Miyamoto observed the two-player competitive and cooperative gameplay of the arcade game Joust, he wanted to create a second player. This character would become Luigi. And even then, he was literally a palette swap of Mario. Do you see where I'm getting at right now? Let's just throw in one more example. Let's take a look at Daisy. During the development of Super Mario Land, the developers wanted the game to take place far away from the Mushroom Kingdom, and Princess Daisy was created to fill the damsel in distress role for that kingdom. All of these characters were created to fill spaces. However, another thing that these characters have in common is that they have all evolved over time, even Waluigi. Since his debut, he has starred in over 60 video games. Every Mario Tennis game, every Mario Party since Mario Party 3, every Mario Golf game, every Mario Kart since Double Dash, besides Mario Kart 7, every Mario Baseball game, every Mario Strikers game, every Mario and Sonic game, and every Mario Sports game. He was even the main antagonist of Dance Dance Revolution, Mario Mix, and Mario Party 3. As you can see, Waluigi has significantly evolved over time, being used for far more than what he was originally created to do, gaining far more personality, and becoming a member of the main Mario cast. So, the filler character label is objectively incorrect. Just because a character was originally created to fill a space, that doesn't mean that that is their only purpose. It's quite the double standard that people label Waluigi as filler purely because of why he was created, yet they try to defend characters like Daisy, who were created in the exact same way. That being said, neither of these characters are filler, and should not be labeled as such. Another claim that people make against Waluigi relates to his personality. These people genuinely believe that Waluigi has no personality and that he acts exactly like Wario.
You serious?
When you actually look at the character of Waluigi objectively, it's practically laughable just how incorrect this is. Waluigi has plenty of personality. In fact, alongside Rosalina and Luigi, he has the most character out of the entire main Mario cast. Waluigi is an ill-tempered, rude, and mean-spirited troublemaker. Earlier biographies of Waluigi state that he genuinely dislikes others being happy. Interviews with voice actor Charles Martinet back this up. In said interviews, Martinet says that self-pity is the cornerstone of Waluigi's character, his primary characteristic. Waluigi feels that good things happen to others and not himself, which immensely frustrates him. This can easily explain why he dislikes others being happy. To add on more about self-pity, Waluigi complains a lot and is quick to blame others for his failures, such as accusing them of cheating, while also hypocritically taking pride in his own cheating. Take this voice clip from Mario Kart Wii for example.
Everybody cheater. Next time I cheat.
Waluigi also loves causing trouble. In Dance Dance Revolution Mario Mix, where he was the main antagonist, Waluigi steals the music keys to become the best dancer, hypnotize and spread chaos throughout the world. He is also extremely boastful, constantly ranting about how he is the superstar, his crotch-up animation in Mario Strikers, being quick to taunt his opponents, and constantly cheering for himself for every single achievement, though this could be due to the fact that no one else will give him any positive reinforcement. Now, while Waluigi and Wario are both greedy, selfish, bumbling crooks who hate the Mario Brothers, that's where the similarities between them end. Added to that, if they have all those things in common, why else do you think they're close friends? In fact, Charles Martinet, who voices both of them, says, "I think that they are just two evil guys who, well, liked each other." On a final note, Waluigi has plenty of his own personality to separate himself from Wario. Overall, quite terrible arguments that really don't make sense when you look at the character of Waluigi objectively. The way that these people use the words filler and no personality so lightly to describe Waluigi is just plain irresponsible and objectively ignorant. Especially the claim about his personality. Am I saying Waluigi is a perfect character and that you have to like him? No. But you cannot make idiotic claims such as these. Actually look at the character objectively and come to your own conclusions. Don't just make factually wrong statements about a character just because you don't like them.
Sit down, Ozer. I'm ruined!
Alright, now we are going to talk about the fanbase. For this section, I am primarily going to be talking about the controversy that led to the Waluigi fandom being, well, controversial. During the E3 2018 showcase of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Waluigi was once again revealed to be an assist trophy, this time being used as a demonstration to show that you can kill assist trophies. Needless to say, this clip gained a lot of attention, and a lot of support for Waluigi started popping off. Memes, videos, and even petitions were made in support of Waluigi becoming a playable character. Waluigi was pretty much everywhere at that point. YouTube, Twitter, Reddit, the Washington Post, hell, even Netflix threw their hat into the ring and made this tweet. The outcry was so huge that Reggie Fils-Aimé, who was president of Nintendo of America at the time, telling us that while Smash Bros. Director Masahiro Sakurai was indeed aware of the support that appeared for Waluigi, making Waluigi playable is ultimately his decision. This groundswell of support would eventually lead into controversy, however. Among the memes that were spread, two people sent two edgy memes to Sakurai, which resulted in Sakurai blocking both of them. The greater Smash community was sent into an enormous outrage, and many labeled this as harassment. Several large Nintendo or Smash YouTubers and news outlets covered it, and the entire Waluigi fandom were labeled as toxic for the actions of these two individuals, and they still are to this day. That's basically my rundown of the entire situation. However, in retrospect, the response to the situation was some of the most inept and irresponsible coverings of a situation that I have observed in my 11 plus years on the internet. Let me explain in greater detail. Here are the two tweets that basically everyone uses as harassment. While these memes are indeed inappropriate and edgy, here's the thing. This is not harassment. Any moron can see that these tweets are nothing more than jokes. I mean, for God's sake, they're literally written this way. This tweet literally has WA11 in it. That, and combined with Waluigi's head on the World Trade Center, there's a clear punchline to this joke. These are literally just stupid and edgy memes. Nothing more and nothing less. Given that this is all that Sakurai has been shown to have received, this can hardly be considered harassment. Another thing that people neglect to mention is that these people have even apologized and confirmed that their tweets were indeed jokes. Now, let's get into how people responded and covered the situation. The amount of cherry-picking, misinformation, and exaggerations were nothing short of idiotic. As I mentioned before, the greater Smash community started raging on Twitter. A streamer named Wonder Havoc tweeted about the situation. Within this tweet, he condemned the supposed harassment and told Waluigi fans that they are doing nothing to support their cause and that they need to stop. Never mind the fact that this tweet basically started this train wreck of a situation. This tweet is poorly worded. This tweet reads as if a majority of Waluigi fans committed the act. Now, several other people picked up on this, and as you would have guessed, they tweeted the exact same thing without actually detailing what happened. Due to how big this whole situation was blowing up, it didn't take long for gaming news outlets to cover this. Now, let me ask you a question. Since the people who wrote these articles are, you know, journalists, in this day and age, do you believe that they will provide factual information about the—
No!
These articles say absolutely nothing. They provide no relevant information beyond the tweets responding to the so-called harassment, and just like everybody else, they don't mention how many people actually did it. Several Smash and Nintendo YouTubers picked up on this, and just like the journalists, they didn't even fact-check their stuff and just said everything that Twitter and the press had already stated, no matter how poorly researched, surface level, or misinformative they were.
All kinds of terrible stuff is being tweeted to Sakurai about Waluigi not being in the game. I'm sure some people are genuine in this. They're honestly that angry that they feel they need to make death threats and show other vile images and stuff like that to Sakurai to get his attention about this, which is disgusting.
No, I really do believe that Sakurai was harassed and tormented by enough people and eventually was like, let's give them everything they want, except Waluigi.
While all that is bad enough, it gets worse. Even more misinformation was spread about the fandom. This time, people were claiming that there were death threats sent to Sakurai. And as you expect, people started shouting this accusation loud enough to the point where almost everybody genuinely believed it.
I'm going to have to put on my fucking double-seeing glasses because I can't even begin to see the amount of bullshit coming from you.
I know for a fact that this claim is bullshit because there have been no screenshots or archives that even prove this. And as I said previously, none of these tweets show any calls to violence or threats against Sakurai. And you know what makes this accusation even more disgusting? People use it to victimize themselves. This YouTuber made a video called The Truth Behind Waluigi in Smash Bros, and it was not good. In the video, he trashes Waluigi, claiming that he'll never be in Smash, that he's filler, basically the same objectively wrong arguments that I covered in my section on Waluigi.
Waluigi is filler, and always will be.
The video's reception was not good, and considering the arguments that he presents in that video, I am not surprised. But then he took to Twitter and claimed he was sent death threats from Waluigi fans on Twitter and in emails. This was proven false because in tweets that are now deleted, he claims that they deleted all the evidence and people couldn't find any tweets that were sent towards him. It's pretty disappointing that people are willing to take advantage of an accusation which, mind you, wasn't even true in the first place, and use it to make themselves look like victims. After someone called him out in a Reddit thread for his perfectly described shitty accusation tweet, the aforementioned Wonder Havoc decided to take to Twitter and claim that Waluigi fans need to be held accountable for their actions, and with this hashtag, claimed that it was more than two. He has since deleted this tweet, but I'm still gonna talk about it. This tweet is just sad. 1. Why should an entire community be held accountable for the actions of two people who also apologized? And 2, he shows no evidence that it was more than two. So, because of Twitter outrage and irresponsible press articles, the Waluigi fandom has been demonized and still are to this day. They are constantly generalized, with people claiming that they all harass Sakurai. They have to deal with hate because of something that they didn't do. This entire drama was the result of a lack of fact-checking, irresponsible coverage from press articles, prominent figures being misinformed, and even more unsubstantiated claims being piled on top of misinformation. Also, Sakurai is a public figure. He's always going to get stuff like this. This isn't just exclusive to Waluigi fans either. People have been bugging him about characters for a very long time. This really wasn't anything new. Sakurai did what any smart person would have done. He blocked them and then moved on with his day. That's it. He most likely forgot about it after he did that, so I highly doubt this even affected him that much in the long run. So, was all of this blown out of proportion? Yes. Was Sakurai actually harassed? No. This whole situation is just what this Reddit post describes it as. A massive circle jerk that got out of hand. Nothing more, nothing less.
Only cheaters mess up.
There is one more thing that I'd like to address. I've seen a lot of people who claim that no one really likes Waluigi, that he's just a meme character and that people's love for him is completely fake. This is an extremely surface level claim and a terrible generalization. You can't just make that kind of assumption just because a character has memes. That's so ignorant. It's a pretty retarded idea that you can't legitimately like a character just because they have memes. While we're discussing this, I can tell you what I think of Waluigi. I know I don't speak for everyone, but I can tell you that I like Waluigi for far more reasons than just the memes. In fact, I liked him even before they even started becoming popular. I grew up during the later years of the Wii's life, from 2009 to 2012. So one of the very first console games I ever played was Mario Kart Wii, which would eventually become my favorite game of all time. It was the first time I saw Waluigi, and I thought he was genuinely cool. As I got older and played more games, I liked him even more. His voice, catchphrases, boastful nature, and the poses he strikes I found to be funny and entertaining. And most importantly, his personality. I can relate to him in a way. His self-pity, his belief that good things happen to everybody except for him. Sometimes I have these thoughts myself. I feel like everyone else is able to succeed where I fail. That's why I like Waluigi, and I'm not the only one who feels this way. I look on plenty of forums and Reddit posts, and people like Waluigi for almost the same reasons I do. I can show some comments on the original version of this video, and they like Waluigi for the exact same reasons. Yes, Waluigi does indeed have memes, but one, have you ever wondered why he has memes? I'd say it's because of something about his character that people find funny or memorable about him. Take this meme for instance. This meme compliments Waluigi's tall and slender design and basically says that it's attractive. And let's be honest, we all think so. Every character has something memeable about them, and Waluigi is no exception. 2. The memes do not define him. Just look at why people love him and what his character is all about. That should be enough to explain why. Waluigi has a passionate and mostly chill fanbase. Can they get too passionate? Yes, I'm guilty of this. And can some people in the fandom be toxic? Yes, but that doesn't mean that all of them are. I shall now leave you with a quote from Five Nights at Freddy's creator, Scott Cawthon. The truth is that every fanbase has its toxic side. And that's because every fanbase has a huge variety of ages, a huge variety of opinions, and a huge variety of maturities. There will always be people who irritate you, inside and outside of any fanbase. That's not a fault of the fanbase, it's a fault of people, and we're all guilty.